would lift myself, spread my wings and fly. If I was a lion, I would run into the jungle and give the loudest growl. And if I was the sun, yes, I would rise early in the morning and shine my light so bright. If I was an angel, I would sound the alarm for the whole of creation to bow at your feet. Yes, I'm here to I have come to give you knowledge, to give you worship, to give you worship. I'm here to I have come to give you knowledge, to give you worship, to give you worship. If I was a little child, I would sing and shout for joy. If I was a sunny window, I would use my party power. If I was a shining star, I would illuminate everywhere. And if I was the son of a governor, I would make everybody throw a bubble to you. And if I could control the time, I would go to the calendar region. I would give you the worship that only you deserve. I will look for beautiful nails like an animal. Yes, I will go on someone can tell me I will correct now. I have come to give you power, to give you power, to give you worship, to give you worship. I have come to give you power, to give you power, to give you worship, to give you worship. I was meant to give you power, to give you power, to give you worship, to give you worship. I was meant to give you power, to lay down with the end, to give you worship. Only a fool will look into the bones and say there is no God. Only a madman will look into the seas and claim that the fishes are not his dead. Even the Babalawo can testify that there is only one Jehovah. So who are you to tell me that I can't wait? But he can do nothing to exist. He is a continent. The sea is the God in our Judah. He knows that I stand you for the rest of my days. Does anybody want to give God some praise? My Father who art in heaven, I have come to give you praise. I have come to sing you worship. Does anybody in the house want to give God praise? Let me give you praise. Let me see you put your praise on. Even if I had a million times, there will never ever be enough to give you all the worship. And you are the Lord. That is your name. That is what we call you. To give you all the
This day, in the book of Philippians, Paul wrote this personal letter to encourage the believers at Philippi, and it should encourage us even today. Apostle Paul wrote this letter from prison, yet he wrote it with joy in his heart, and was happy to encourage the church at Philippi. We should take from this that in every situation, we should seek guidance from God. Anything, even the smallest thing, like traveling in your car, waking up for school, we should pray at all times, because we don't know what will happen. It's only the omnipotent omniscience that knows that. My dear friends, you have always obeyed. The Philippians had from the beginning showed their readiness to obey and show respect to Apostle Paul. They also listened to his teachings. This readiness to obey obey. Paul referred to more than once and also commended. It was clear that they made every effort to secure their salvation through their obedience. And we also should take from them that we should also try and seek our salvation, because it is in our personal interest to go to heaven. Nobody wants to go to hell here. That's what I know. Obedience even in my absence. Though they had been obedient when he was with them, yet circumstances occurred in his absence that made their obedience more remarkable and more worthy of special commendation. They were consistent in their obedience. Some children here, I don't know which one, but when their parents are around, they are the perfect little child. But when their parents have left, the mischief that they may get up to, let me not mention it. Work out your own salvation. This important command was first addressed to Christians, but there is no reason why the same command should not be regarded as addressed to all, for it is equally applicable to all. The reason for making the effort, or the encouragement for the effort, is stated in the next verse. In regards to the command here, it is natural to wonder why it is a duty, and what is necessary to be done in order to obey it. In the first place, it must be observed that it is a duty to make a personal effort to secure salvation, to work out our salvation. We can't just sit back and let other people do our work for us. We must take charge and try and believe in God's word so that we can make it, so that we all can make it to heaven. In Jesus' name. Why is it a duty? Because God commands it. There is no command more frequently repeated in the Bible than the command to make to ourselves a new and to strive to be saved. Please, can somebody turn to Luke 13:23? Are we there yet? Someone asked Jesus, "Sir, are only a few people going to be saved?" He answered, "Try hard to enter through the narrow door. I can guarantee that many will try to enter, but they won't succeed. I pray that we all will succeed in entering through the narrow door in Jesus' name." Amen. It is a duty because it is our own personal interest that is at stake. No one else has or can have as much interest in our salvation as we have. It is every person's duty to be as happy as possible here and to be prepared for eternal happiness in the future world. No person has a right either to throw away his life for his soul. It is a person's duty to endeavor to save his life when in danger of drowning. It is no less his duty to endeavor to save his soul when in danger of hell. For example, when we are swimming, we are also all in the danger of drowning, so we swim carefully. You don't just dive into the pool like there's salt in the water that will help you float. You must be careful. When you are swimming, you must be careful about how you get into the pool, how you swim, where you swim to, and how deep the water is. Our earthly friends cannot save us. No effort of theirs can deliver us from eternal death without our own effort. Great as may be their prayers for us, and much as they may do, there is a point where their efforts must stop, and that point is always short of our salvation, unless we are committed to seek salvation. They may pray and plead, but they cannot save us. There is work to be done on our own hearts which they cannot do for us. Can somebody open to 1 Corinthians 9:24-26? Are we there yet? Don't you realize that everyone who runs in a race wants to win, but only one runner gets the prize. Run like them so that you can win. Everyone who enters an athletic contest goes into strict training. They do it to win a temporary crown, but we do it to win one that will be permanent. So I run, but not without a clear goal ahead of me. We should always keep in mind that we are not praying for other people to see that I'm a big man, I can pray, like the Pharisee, the story of the Pharisee and the humble man. So we should not think that let me just pray for the sake of God. We should pray to help to contact God that we need help, that to show our thanks for what He has done for us, to show our thanks for all He has done for us. Because the reason why me and you are here today, isn't it not because of God? Yes. The reason why we drove here and our car didn't break down, wasn't it not because of God? The reason why we are here and we still have petrol in our cars, isn't it not because of God? So we should always keep in mind that we are praying to God for help, not just to show that we can do big prayer. It is a duty because the salvation of the soul will not take care of itself without an effort on our part. There is no more reason to suppose this than the health and life will take care of themselves without our own efforts. Please, can somebody open to Galatians 5? Christ has freed us so that we may enjoy the benefits of freedom. Therefore, be firm in this freedom and don't become slaves again. What's the point of getting free from something only to go back to it? In fact, there's no point of people giving your life to Christ if you are still going back to the same thing that you are trying to rid yourself of. So, if we want to rid ourselves of something, just throw everything out that is related to that and pray that God will help you to rid you of that addiction. I pray that all of us here, anything that is disturbing us, that is bad, that we cannot rid ourselves of, that keeps disturbing us, I pray that we'll be rid of it today. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. It is a duty because there's no reason to expect that our God who loves us so much will force us to obey Him. Please, can somebody open to Romans 2:7? He will give everlasting life to those who search for glory, honor, and immortality by persisting in doing what is good. We see in Hebrews 11:1-40 a list of heroes of faith who are being saved. Every one of them made sure they obeyed God. What reason has any man to think that God will interfere in this case and save him by force if he refuses to accept Jesus Christ and walk out his own salvation? Therefore, we must ask ourselves again, what does the command, the instruction mean? And what does it mean? It does not mean that we are to attempt to deserve salvation and grant a merit. That is out of question. In Ephesians 2:8, it says, God saved you through faith as an act of kindness. You had nothing to do with it. Being saved is a gift from God. Which means that we should not think, just because let's say you're president of America, that you're going to heaven straight away. You can find out that you, president of America, might not make it to heaven. You now see one person that is living in the gutter in heaven. Does it mean that we are to endeavor to make atonement for past sins? That would be equally impossible, and it is besides unnecessary. That work has been done by the great Redeemer. But it means that we are to make an honest effort to be saved in the way which God has appointed. That we are to break off from our sins by true repentance. That we are to believe in the Savior and honestly to put our trust in Him. That we are to give up all that we have to God. That we are to break away from all evil company, friendship, and evil plans of life. And that we are to resist all the attractions of the world and all the temptations which may confront us that will lead us away from God. And are to surrender to the Holy Spirit who is our companion and guide. The great difficulty in looking at our salvation is informing a purpose to begin at home. When that purpose is formed, salvation is easy. So from the start, we should keep a goal in mind. Let's say you want to make it to heaven. Let's say you want to see your grandparents, your father, your mother, your children in heaven. Let's say you want to see chocolates maybe even in heaven. Let's say you want to see, and let's just keep in mind what we want so that we'll be able to get the salvation that we need in Jesus' name. With fear and trembling. The fear that the Bible talks about is a godly fear. The reason or the ground for fear in this case is in general this. There is a danger of losing our soul if we live in disobedience to God. In Hebrews 4:11 it says, so we must make every effort to enter that place of rest, then no one will be lost by following the example of those who refuse to. From the beginning, Christ has always wanted all of us to make it into heaven, and none of us can deny that. I pray that all of us here will make it into heaven in Jesus' name. So many people make shipwreck of their faith and perish. Therefore, there is danger that we may also. There are so many temptations and attractions in this world, and so many things that can lead us away from God's will to disobedience. There's a danger that we may be lost in sin. There is also a danger that if the present opportunity passes, another may not occur. Death may soon overtake us. No one has a moment to lose. No one can designate one single moment of his life and say, I may safely lose that moment. I may safely spend it in the neglect of my soul. We had no control of when we were born into this world, and we currently had no control of when we will leave the earth. No matter what doctors do, or physicians, or even the best doctor in the world cannot heal you, even if there's a cure for one disease that they have, it might not still work. There's always the chance that you will die. Right now there's no cure for old age because there's nothing that can stop you from dying of old age. So it should be done with the most earnest concern from the immensity of the interest at stake. If the soul is lost, all is lost. And who is there that can estimate the value of that soul which is lost in danger of being lost forever? How do we work out our salvation with godly fear? We must go in fear. We must go in faith. 2 Peter 1:5-10 says, because of this, make every effort to add integrity to your faith. And to integrity, add knowledge. To knowledge, add self-control. To self-control, add endurance. To endurance, add godliness. To godliness, add Christian affection. And to Christian affection, add love. If you have these qualities and they are increasing, it demonstrates that your knowledge about our Lord Jesus Christ is living and productive. If these qualities aren't present in your life, you are short-sighted and have forgotten that you were cleansed from your past sins. Therefore, brothers and sisters, use more effort to make God's calling and choosing of you secure. If you keep doing this, you will never fall away. I pray that none of us here will fall away in Jesus' name. We must live like Christ. In Romans 13:4, it says, instead, live like the Lord Jesus Christ did and forget about satisfying the desires of your sinful nature. So, we cannot agree here that Jesus was perfect, right? So we should try and be as perfect as him. None of us here can be totally perfect, but we can at least try. and do our best to make sure that we are clean of our sinful nature. We must count our blessings and stop complaining. We are advised in Philippians 2:13-15. Do everything without complaining or arguing, then you will be blameless and innocent. You will be God's children without any fault among people who are crooked and corrupt. You shine like stars among them in the world. What we plant is what we harvest. Galatians 6. Another way to say that is what you reap is what you sow is what you reap. Galatians 6:7-9 says, make no mistake about this. You can never make a fool out of God. Whatever you plant is what you harvest. If you plant in the soil of your corrupt nature, you will harvest destruction. But if you plant in the soil of your spiritual nature, you will harvest everlasting life. We can't allow ourselves to get tired of living right away. Certainly, each of us will receive everlasting life at the proper time if we don't give up. I pray that we have the spirit of patience so that we can keep going even when the road seems tough and impossible to pass. We must be humble and sorry for our sins. In Isaiah 62:2, it says, I have made all these things. That is why all these things have come into being, declares the Lord. I'll pay attention to those who are humble and sorry for their sins and who tremble at my word. We must shine a light to the world. We must arise and shine, for the glory of God is risen upon us. Isaiah 16:61. In addition, Ephesians 5:8 says, once you lived in the dark, but now the Lord has filled you with light. Live as children who have light. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
I would like to, on behalf of the church, especially appreciate our pastor for that wonderful message. We've been challenged. I think all of us, if anything else, we note that there is no cure for old age. It's obvious, and that's very true. That's very true. And we can't make the desire. God cannot make the effort for us. He said so. We are the ones who will cooperate with Him and consciously work out our salvation with fear and trembling. I want to be careful now. De Milade, isn't it? Because the last time I called him, he said, you didn't pronounce my name well. When we were to proceed, when we were to come in, I called him Damilade. He said, no, you didn't pronounce my name well. It's Demilade. So I said, I'm sorry. So Demilade, right? Did I pronounce it better? You preached well. God bless you. You challenged me. There were things you said that touched me. So when I go back and say, God, help me to work out this my salvation. You know, pastor is also working out his salvation. God will not say, when we get to heaven, because I'm pastor, I'm special. God will say that too. He will say, how have you lived? If a pastor doesn't live well, he will not go to heaven. Whether you are pastor, it's not by rank or by position or name. So you have touched me. God bless you. We appreciate you. And children, we appreciate you, all that you have done. Those who came who did the choreography. There's a boy. He has this musical, it looks like this young man. I don't know if it's a word of prophecy, but he has this musical, there's something about him that gives an impression that it's somebody who has this musical talent in him. I thank God for your lives. All of us, we did so well. We danced well. I was watching you, and I wish I could. I'm sure in one of your practices I'll come and join, but it's like I may not be able to bend the way you are bending so much. You know, I'm a little older than you now, so I may not be able to do that. But God bless you. You have done well. We are all children of God. God bless you, children. And I want to thank their aunties too, and their aunties and their uncle. There's just an uncle. And it's sad. That appears to be the trend in most churches. You discover that you just find only one or two brothers joining the ministry, the children's ministry. Please, it's a challenge. Our sister said you don't need any application, so you can join. We want brothers there, like we also want sisters. We want more hands, so that we can. They are our children, so that we can take care of them. God bless you, children. Pastor is to pray for you now. Wouldn't the aunties also join? The aunties and the uncle should join. The church wants to pray for you. So children will be quiet now, isn't it? Okay. The rest of us, the church, why don't you please rise? Let's rise. Our children will be seated. Our children and their aunties be seated. And just keep quiet. Children, keep quiet. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Pastor wants to pray for you. I like our mothers and our daddies to begin to pray for these ones. Bless them. Bless these children. We were once like them. Okay, let's begin to pray for them and say, Lord, may they grow in wisdom. May they enjoy every scriptural virtue. May they be the right ones, the examples that you have set out of believers. Bless them indeed. Declare that no sickness, no disease will terminate their lives. Pray for their aunties. It's a lot of efforts. To even manage them at home as parents is not easy. How much more managing other people's children. It takes love. It takes determination. It takes deep calling. Begin to bless their aunties and their uncle. We have just a brother there. Brother Jide. Pray for him. And pray that God will raise workers for this ministry. Our children are increasing. As we pray for growth in the church, as more people come, both adults, teenagers, and youths, that's how children will also come with their parents who are coming to the church to be members. And so we need more hands. Pray for hands, pray for supporters, for workers in that ministry. In Jesus' name we have prayed.